Welcome back, everybody. Today I'm going to be reacting to Between Two Worlds from the artist Mili from the game Limbus Company for the very first time. Now, if that sounds like a good time to you, then you are in the right place. Hello again, and welcome back to Right Man in the Wrong Place. My name is Luke Tatum. I react to music, and I am so glad that you are here choosing to spend some of your valuable time with me. All right, it has been a minute. Today is Father's Day. It's not when you see this, but it is when I say this. And so, those of you who are fathers watching this, happy Father's Day. Now, let's get into some music here. This will be my second song from the artist Mili, second song from the game Limbus Company. We're listening to Between Two Worlds. Looks like this came out in 2023. This was an unpaid request from RonEmeraldia, and it says it's a song that's used as a boss battle music, and lyrics should be in the video. So 2023 is the year that it was released. I think I already said that. But, you know, I did listen to In Hell We Live from Limbus Company, also by Mili recently, and that song was absolute, over the top, complete. What am I even going to say here? Let's try to end my sentence. It was crazy. It was crazy. Very powerful music. And so I'm interested to see what this one has in store for us. By the way, thank y'all, everyone who showed up for that previous Mili reaction. Huge support. My subscriber count just spiked crazy. So really, really appreciate y'all. Wanted to get another one out in the relatively near future, so that's what we're doing today. Got lots of other good stuff coming up. All right, let's listen. Same vocalist. Sounds a little bit like a Christmas Carol type of a thing, like the way that a Christmas Carol is sort of presented generally, like let's say in film or TV, that very, what's the right word here? Very almost childlike sort of thing. Like if you go to an actual place that's doing, say, a Christmas concert, a church, or a community organization or something, typically you'll have a little bit more, bass, and you'll have a little bit more, varied vocal ranges. This is very treble heavy, and it's just interesting. It's just interesting. It's what came to mind. All right. Also, so merry is a word that you typically only see in relation to Christmas. So I'm sure this is not a Christmas song, but and just to speak on the art, I guess really briefly here. I mean, we have a figure with these blue birds, and it seems to be a very fearful expression on the face, but that's not how the song feels so far. Of course, we're singing about regrets. We got the indifference of the world here. So I'm not sure. A common fire. I'm not sure. I guess I'll just have to keep listening. But I did want to say this also reminds me a bit of Greenbird from the Cowboy Bebop soundtrack. Those of y'all who are familiar know that's a standout track, even amongst standout tracks in the Cowboy Bebop, OST. But there's a sense in which that's a very Japanesey kind of thing. Like, this is familiar to other Japanese music. I have no idea if Mili is or isn't, or if it's multicultural, or I don't know. I did look at a few seconds of Limbus Company footage on the Steam page, and I couldn't even tell you that I really understand what type of game it is, but it's, from a side perspective, and I guess you collect different heroes or whatnot. But I haven't played it. Didn't really listen to the trailer because I didn't want to spoil myself from any music or anything, but I just looked at it. Okay, let's keep going. I'm going to back it up just a bit. It feels like we're going somewhere with this. Okay, so we have like an edible child sort of thing. It's interesting that I'm recording this on Father's Day, right? There is a, the tragedy of Oedipus, right? A little bit of an element of that here, right? So the looking at the world and the condition of the world and the things that could happen to you or already have happened to you, and just wanting to regress back to a childlike state so that you can avoid pain, right? Going forth into the world is going to be painful. It's not entirely unfair to just say life is suffering and it's how you navigate it that makes the difference. And, if you just refuse to engage with that suffering, if you just say, well, I don't want to get hurt, so I won't do anything, that's still a choice. You're still choosing to, shield yourself from the world and not do anything. And that has consequences too, just like going out and getting into the world does. One of the main consequences being your life is meaningless. You have no impact on anything. And all you can do is receive what happens around you. And, I still feel like maybe this song is about to like have the bottom drop out of it and we're going to get guitars or some kind of crazy thing happens. But even if it stays this sort of hymnal sort of pattern the whole way, I'm here for it. The vocals are very good, and I'm enjoying picking apart the lyrics and all that. So if only there could be a forgiving world. I may ramble more on that. We'll see. Okay, so we're entering into the other of the two worlds, perhaps. It became dark. Realm of Dark. Yeah, Realm of Darkness. Okay. This is right as I pause. I was going to say something else, but I'm starting to feel a little bit of an accelerando. It seems like we're increasing the tempo, and oh man, there's a lot of stuff I should say or could say, and I don't know necessarily. I'm going to back it up a little bit. So I chose to say fallen, so that was why, or that was when I chose to say fallen. And, you know, fallen as an adjective like this, could, not as a verb, right? But as an adjective, if it could mean a whole lot of different things. Are we talking in some sort of like biblical framework? Are we talking in, because we have wings and stuff in the imagery here. I don't know if this is key art for the game or anything. Like, I don't know what this is from. It might not even be related to the song necessarily. But, is it fallen in like a sense of being sinful? Is it, I'm not going to live virtuously because there's no point in living virtuously. Life is still going to be painful even if I do that, which, is a very unhealthy state of mind, I would say. But is that what we're doing here? I don't know. I'd throw some other theories out as we listen, perhaps. There's a lot of intensity building now. Sin. Okay, I gotta pause again. Copyright and all that stuff, right? So there's this effort, and I don't have the whole lyrics in front of me to really pick apart. I have to jump around, but there's this effort to remake oneself in the image of another, or to seek being remade, which is different than remaking oneself. And so to be cocooned, and, it sounds like this is, again, happening to him or her, and not necessarily like a personal responsibility kind of thing, but a hope without action, perhaps. And, there's a lot of kind of creation. I think it is very like biblical, or at least, Western theology centered here. But and I have to stop myself from bringing in Carl Jung and stuff all the time. But we started out in the light, we've entered the dark, and that's where you can remake yourself, right, is in the dark. Your shadow, if you follow a Jungian framework, right? You have to understand the parts of you that you wish you didn't have, or that you don't acknowledge and bury, and you have to integrate those with your overall self, and that's transformative. But, the process of individuation, perhaps this visual that we have is emerging from a cocoon. Perhaps it's not wings per se, but it's, unfurling from a cocooned, transformed state. Okay, let me back up a little bit. Yeah, curled into a ball is very, like, not taking your own responsibility. so hard to know when to pause these songs. Really phenomenal. I mean, such a multi-layered production here. And it's made more powerful because the beginning portion is so simple and so familiar and warm and comforting with the sort of churchy sort of vibe, hymnal vibe. This is very much the process of transformation, and so it becomes very chaotic and disorganization of the cells so they can be reformed. I really there's a line here, a sentient canvas, right? So perhaps being conscious of the reorganization of one's body and mind into something new. It's very intense. And yeah, I mean, producing such a soundscape that you just really don't hear, very, very, very intense. And I love the, runs of the strings in the back, and that really adds to that sort of chaos. Something I forgot to say a long time ago, right as we entered the Heart of Darkness or World of Darkness segment here, had a very nice percussive instrument, and I know some of y'all like when I talk about percussion. So it's a slapstick. It's a piece of wood with another piece of wood and a hinge, and so you sling it kind of forward, and the first part moves as you swing, and the second part with the hinge comes along after and slaps. So it's a slapstick. And you don't hear that a whole lot. There's a very, total orchestra production kind of mindset in this music. I don't know how many people are in Mili or if it's a single artist, just using MIDI and samples, or if it's, obviously we've got vocals, but, again, I don't know how big of a team we're talking here, but it's really a full-on production. It's very, very, very complex and thoughtful. So let's back it up a little bit, and we'll probably finish out the song here. Got 1 minute left. It's very loud compared to the beginning, too. What? A what song? I have to look this up, so. What does that mean? Vegetus? Vegetus? Latin, perhaps? Vedictus? Newborn baby's first cry, or the crying or screaming of any baby or small child. So yeah, it's a rebirth thing. Vegetus. In British English. Perhaps that's why I don't know it. I learned a new word today. Y'all are so cool. Okay. Oh my gosh, I thought we had a lot more time. Okay, so I really like that. Letting the bottom note of the piano, it's probably not the bottom note, but you know what I mean, the low note of the piano just sort of resonate there for an extra long period of time. It's interesting that it ends on a low like that. It's, you almost want that song to be light, dark, and then light again. The rebirth is complete, and I'd have to listen to that a couple more times, I think, to really, really get the whole thing. I mean, I get the light versus dark, the duality, the reformation, transformation, etc. Integration, perhaps, if we go back to the Jungian framework. But, it ends on a dark note there. And so it's like an unfinished story. It's like we've done this cocooning, this transformation, what now? But I mean, crazy awesome. Really, really, really good. Um, love the use of some unconventional instruments. Love the use of the vocals. They're very, very good at layering multiple vocals. It did sound like there was a male vocalist in there as well at times, and that's something I don't remember hearing in the last song that we did. Um, it's crazy. It's good. It's really, really, really good. So, Limbus Company fans, Mili fans, thank you all for showing up again. I really, really appreciate that. I love to read comments from everyone. I used to reply to every single comment on this channel, and it's just gotten to where I can't do that. But definitely do look for those, especially from those of you who are publicly subscribed to the channel. Always very much appreciate that. And those of you who are members on the Buy Me a Coffee, which starts at $1 if you would like to support the channel and what I'm doing over here, because this is just a for fun thing for me. I'm not trying to make this my day job, but I would love to get to the point where I could do, say, 5 of these a week, and your support would really help me get back to that kind of level. So that's Buy Me a Coffee right below my face or in the description box. And again, starts at $1. That'll also get you my original music, which you can find on there first, but you'll also eventually see over on Time Lock Music Official, which is my music name. So, what else to say? I just, again, thank you. Very humbled to be able to do this for all of y'all. I'm just so happy that, y'all enjoy being here and doing this with me. Until next time, the right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world.